Hello you guys. I have honestly contemplated even coming back and posting on this channel again. It has been, I don't even know how long it's been at this point since I've posted a video on here. We had a pretty crazy time trying to get moved in to the house, and with everything going on, everything got really crazy. And we've just kind of had a lot going on. I took some time off, not intentionally. Actually, it was on accident, but I was getting ready to edit some videos and post, and I never got them edited fully, and I never uploaded them. And then I found out that I am pregnant with baby number 2, and right now I am 20 weeks. So I had a really rough time, and I may do some videos on that later. Sorry, little man is wanting my coffee, and I'm having to try to find somewhere to put it that he can't reach, because he can reach so many places now. He's so big. I had 2 videos ready to go for you guys, and one of them I really just don't know if I want to post it, so I may just scrap it. But I do want to share with you guys the gluten-free sourdough bread starter and show you how I made my first loaf. At the time I filmed that video, I was pregnant and I did not know it yet, but I mean, we had a suspicion, but I didn't know for sure. And then I have not made sourdough bread since that video. My starter actually died. I'll have to start over. It molded because in the first trimester, baby decided that she didn't want sourdough bread. So we are having a little girl. We have our anatomy scan the week that I'm filming this, so that's coming up. But blood work said girl, so we will find out at the anatomy scan for sure. So I guess I'm just gonna put this at the intro of the sourdough bread video. There's my little update as to where I've been. Hopefully I can get back into a routine, and I may do a separate video. I may sit down and film a separate video about my pregnancy so far. So maybe after our anatomy scan this week, I can sit down and give you guys a full pregnancy video about how this pregnancy went, because it has been so different than how it went with him. Enjoy the gluten-free sourdough bread video. Hello you guys, there might be some background noise right now. I do apologize if so, but welcome to this video. I am getting my sourdough starter going. It is gluten-free sourdough starter because I do have celiac disease. I'm really excited to get this started because if you eat gluten-free or have had to purchase gluten-free for whatever reason, you know that it is so expensive. So I want to start making my own bread. We're gonna see how it goes. So I'm gonna get my starter going. Our mixer actually came in today. I got it all set up. Everything's washed, ready to go. I won't need that for probably about a week or so, maybe 5 days, and then we'll get our bread started. But I wanted to bring you guys along on my journey. This is my first time ever doing anything like this, so I'm really hoping it goes well, but if not, you guys will get to see the trial and error. So let's get started. Okay you guys, this sourdough starter recipe is 1 cup of flour and ½ a cup plus 1 tablespoon of water. I found that I was gonna have to do a little bit more water sometimes, but we'll get into that. And then you let it sit covered on the counter, and you feed it once daily until bubbly. So day 1, I did add extra water like I mentioned. I think I added a little bit too much. In my opinion, this recipe is a little off on the amount of liquid you'll need. So I ended up adding an extra ½ cup, which was way too much. So just start with adding like an extra tablespoon until it's the right consistency. I sat down by the
the ocean. Is that tears that I feel, fill up with emotions? Could I taste them for real? Longing for you, longing for you. Oh, but I can't get back. What can I do? What can I do when your train is gone? I don't wanna go back, back. Don't wanna go back. If you are not with me, hey, do you?
Day 2, you want to discard half of your starter. You could put it in a bowl or a jar and save it and use it for sourdough discard recipes, which I did use my discard one time before my sourdough starter died. But in the early days of the process, I just put it on the compost pile. I fed my starter with 1 cup of flour and half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of water on day 2. However, I advise to start with 1 and go from there depending on the consistency of your starter. This is really just a recipe. You have to look at the consistency and see if it is right.
Go back, back to where we came from. If my hands are empty, hey, do you read me? Go back. I don't wanna go alone. Go back. If you are not with me, hey, I don't wanna go back.
On day 3, this is what my starter looked like. I've discarded and fed it as usual. And then we start in on day 4. I discarded half and I fed it early in the morning. And I'm making bread this day.
Intentions are good. I walk back to my history, into my old neighborhood.
I'm measuring half a cup of milk to warm up on the stove. And now I'm going to get my dry ingredients together. So it's 2 cups of gluten-free flour. I'm using the King Arthur measure for measure. You need 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Longing for you, longing for you. Oh, but I can't get back. What can I do? What can I do when your train is gone? I don't wanna go back, back. Don't wanna go back. If you are not with me, hey, do you read me? Go back, back to where we came from. If my hands are empty, hey, do you read me? Go back. I don't wanna go alone. Go back. If you are not with me, hey, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go back.
Then you mix together your dry ingredients. Now we're going to move on to our wet ingredients. So I put this in my mixer and I'm getting the attachment going. You drizzle in your milk while it's beating. And then you add 1 cup of fed sourdough starter. You add 4 tablespoons of softened butter and you beat until that's combined. You'll need 3 eggs. You add them one at a time, allowing it to mix thoroughly before adding your next egg. I did switch attachments and move to the dough hook, but that didn't work out, so I did end up switching back. So just stick to the paddle attachment for this recipe. Also, I apologize for little man in the background. I'm trying to do this voiceover and he is crazy today. You scrape the bottom and edges of your bowl and then you beat it at high speed for 3 minutes. Alright you guys, so this is my bread dough. It looks pretty good. I'm probably going to try to scrape down these sides a little bit to kind of get it all toward the middle. And then I'm going to cover this bowl and let it sit for 1.5 hours. It's going to start my timer for 1.5 hours and I will catch up with you guys then. I'm coming to check on this and it does look like it has grown. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next steps are to put this into my pan over there and put it on a warm spot. Like I was saying before, my memory card ran out of space. I need to put this in my bread pan here. It says to grease it. I'm going to try it with parchment because if I don't do it just right, it's probably going to stick. It needs to rise in a warm spot. I'm going to try the parchment instead of just greasing the pan like it says. I don't want this bread to stick to the pan at all, and I am a little bit nervous about it. I see a lot of people do parchment actually. So let's just give it a shot. Set it on the back here because this area does feel like it's got some heat coming up. I'm going to cover it. So I'm going to get my tea towel and I'm going to just cover this like it says and then set a timer for 1 hour. Let me get a smaller tea towel, you guys. Set a timer for 1 hour, probably on my phone, and then catch up with you guys when this is done. You let this bread bake at 350 for 38 to 42 minutes. This is the finished product. It was so good and I definitely recommend that you try this recipe out, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.